The community now is living in fear and anxiety because of what is going on about information that ICE is picking up people on the street, train stations, and checkpoints. So we're living in fear and anxiety. The forum is very important for the members of the community because we are here to share with them the right information. What happened is that the people now are dramatizing and exaggerating things where they are sending false informations, you see, because they're telling people that, ICE is picking up people on train stations, hospitals, on checkpoints. That's not right. That's not true. It's false. We don't know now who's who. We don't trust, people like we used to do before. That's how to show you how much now the community is concerned, and it's not easy.
Many years in a row, in New York City becoming the safest city in this major city in this country. That could not be done simply with police officers, men and women. It has to be done in partnership with the community. So this executive order, the commissioner wants it to be known very clearly to people that their NYPD is not ICE. That NYPD is not there to round up people. They don't even ask you for your immigration status when you come to report a crime, and that people should not be afraid.
It's really difficult to see how much the children are affected, both immigrant children, right, who are very scared and who are in vulnerable states, meaning that they are in removal proceedings before the immigration court, or they're waiting for special immigrant juvenile status or asylum cases or other types of immigration relief for kids to be adjudicated. So they're scared, and they're seeing all the same stuff that adults are seeing. When they're going to school, they're hearing all sorts of rumors on social media also, and it's very difficult. For kids also who are U.S. citizens but whose parents are immigrants, it's very difficult because they are also affected by the fear that their parents will be deported, meaning that they come home from school and their parents won't be there. So the anxiety and the unrest and the amount of calls that we've gotten from school administrators in asking for standby guardianships, powers of attorney, and other preparations that families can make, it's very difficult as well. I teach at a law school, and to be honest, some of my students are actually very afraid as well. My students who are immigrants or whose parents are immigrants have the same fears that the young members of our society in New York have as well. So my advice to parents, to immigrant parents, is to see a lawyer, to see an immigration lawyer, to make sure that that immigration lawyer is a true immigration lawyer and is not a notario and is not someone that will commit immigration fraud. We've heard all too many stories, and I've heard these stories even from young people as well that paid $4,000, $5,000, up to $30,000 for a lawyer who wasn't even a lawyer and did nothing on their case. So please, please, please to consult an immigration lawyer through the American Immigration Lawyers Association or through one of the many reputable nonprofits here in New York City or across the nation. Other advice for parents is if after having spoken with a lawyer there really are no options for you as a parent in terms of if there's an issue with immigration, or despite of that, it is always a good idea to have emergency telephone numbers, to have, if you've had prior interactions with immigration, to have your A number, which is your quote-unquote alien number, or it's the number that immigration uses to identify you in a place so that other members of family who you trust can see it. So to make sure that you are prepared in case something happens, in case you are detained by immigration, so that the community can find you, so that your family members can find you, and that it is what is for sure a very difficult time can be ameliorated in any way that's possible.
We get calls every day, emails every day, text messages every day from everybody, really everybody, asking, is there a checkpoint here? Is there a checkpoint there? What do I do? And it's from not just individuals who are undocumented, but individuals who have green cards, naturalized U.S. citizens. Everybody is really concerned. And so it's a matter really of just explaining, well, what is occurring, their constitutional protections, as well as just the limits of what Immigration Customs Enforcement can do, as well as, of course, the reassurances of what to do in case you do have any sort of interaction with an ICE agent. And the most important takeaway regarding what to do in case there's any interaction is repeatedly saying, I exercise my right to remain silent, and stating that you need to speak with your attorney. That definitely is a natural reaction to give the information that they're asking. It's an authority figure, and you want to, and you're just going to give that information. You're scared. You're terrified. But fortunately, though, the individuals with whom ICE is having any sort of interaction are individuals who have already been before an immigration judge, who have been ordered removed by an immigration judge, and who generally have criminal convictions. So these are individuals. So it's important to keep in mind who is most likely at risk. Okay, and it's those individuals. Don't commit any crimes. I mean, that's a really fast way to bring yourself to the attention of Immigration and Customs Enforcement. If you travel between states or between cities, do not travel by bus or by train. ICE agents are notorious for hanging out at the bus stations and the train stations. That's of course separate from the subway and the MTA. Those are fine. But just be a little bit more cautious, but not so cautious that your life is really stopped. If ICE knocks at your door, they're required to identify themselves, okay? Look through the door, look through the people, see who it is. They're required to identify themselves. They cannot come into your home without a criminal warrant. And that is a warrant signed by a criminal judge, okay? They may say they have a warrant, and if that's the case, ask them to slide it under your door. They're required to slide it under the door. Take a photo of it with your cell phone. Just don't open the door. Federal judges do not sign these warrants that would allow entry into your home. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, I came to this forum is just to get an idea and to be aware of the things that you should do in case if you have a problem with the immigration. And then I think the forum was very fruitful, and it was very important. We get a lot of ideas. And then, the advice were the things that we were in need of.
I think it's very important for our outreach to connect with communities on a regular basis. And we can do things like what we did today by holding the Know Your Rights forums and not waiting until there's a crisis, but to make sure that communities understand the variety of offerings from city agencies, programs that can help them. We can also work to strengthen our ties with community leaders and community media so that when there is information that needs to get out, we use a variety of channels to reach communities, whether that is through Know Your Rights forums or radio or TV, or even reaching out to the community leadership. We have a lot of different inroads to connect with communities, and we need to be making sure that we use all of them to the best of our ability.